What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Any Sport. Today we're looking at 5 NFL players that were arrested. First up, Michael Vick for dogfighting. We'll start off with a player in a situation that actually had a somewhat happy ending. Michael Vick was riding high when his world came crashing down on him in 2007. The former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, who had a $100 million contract under his belt, was arrested in August of 2007 for running an illegal dogfighting ring at his house in Virginia called Bad News Kennels. This case drew widespread publicity and brought attention to the issue of animal cruelty. Vick was charged with illegal dogfighting, gambling, and brutal executions of dogs. Vick served 23 months in jail and was suspended by the NFL. Fortunately, this story has a positive outcome, as Vick seemed to generally rehabilitate himself and emerge from the experience a changed person. He was able to resume his NFL career in 2009 and play for the Eagles, Jets, and then the Steelers, often as a backup quarterback, before officially retiring in February 2017. He has also begun working to help authorities eliminate dogfighting in an attempt to make amends for his actions. Next up, Ben Roethlisberger for sexual assault. Big Ben is another NFL player who has managed to tame some demons and emerge as a better player and athlete in the second half of his career. After winning 2 Super Bowls as the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Roethlisberger was known to party and travel around with a posse of friends and relatives. This hard partying lifestyle led to Roethlisberger being investigated for sexual assault on 2 separate occasions. In 2009, Roethlisberger was accused of sexually assaulting a woman at a Lake Tahoe hotel, and in 2010, a woman claimed Big Ben sexually assaulted her in a Georgia nightclub. While Roethlisberger was never formally charged in either case, he settled a civil lawsuit out of court in the first incident. The second case was abandoned by prosecutors when the alleged victim decided she didn't want to pursue the case anymore. Despite that, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell suspended Roethlisberger for the first 6 games of the 2010 football season, saying that the star quarterback had violated the NFL's personal conduct policy. The suspension was reduced to 4 games on appeal, but after counseling and getting married and settled down with kids, Roethlisberger seemed to have tamed his previous wild ways and settled into domestic tranquility. Next up, Ray Kruth, conspiracy to commit murder. Ray Kruth, a former wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, committed one of the most bizarre and sensational crimes on the list. In 2001, Kruth hired a friend of his to carry out an execution-style assassination of his girlfriend at the time, Sharika Adams, who was then 8 months pregnant with his child. Kruth apparently wanted his girlfriend to terminate the pregnancy, but when Adams refused, Kruth put a bit out on her. According to court documents, Adams was driving near Kruth's home when the NFL star stopped his car in front of hers while his friend turned hitman fired multiple shots into the car, hitting the pregnant woman 5 times. Both cars fled the scene. Unfortunately for Kruth, Adams survived the shooting long enough for her to call 911 and tell authorities what happened. She later died of the gunshot wounds she suffered. Kruth was sentenced to a 24-year prison sentence and will be eligible for parole in 2018. Next up, Leonard Little for vehicular manslaughter. Leonard Little seemed to have the world at his feet in 1998. The star college player was drafted as an All-American into the NFL by then the St. Louis Rams. However, the same year the defensive end from North Carolina entered the NFL, he decided to leave a birthday party drunk and drive home. In an inebriated state, Little drove through a red light, crashed into another car, and killed a mother and 2 children. He was lucky and didn't go to prison, but instead received 4 years probation and 1,000 years of community service. That seemed like a lucky break, and many people thought that it would be the wake-up call that Little needed to turn his life around. But in 2004, he was arrested again for driving drunk after he failed 3 roadside sobriety tests. He was later sentenced to 2 years worth of probation, and he continued playing for the Rams until his retirement in 2010. And last but certainly not least, Ray Rice for domestic violence. Anyone who has paid attention to the news in the past few years will recall the infamous video of Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice knocking his fiancée out cold in the casino elevator. The 2014 images of Rice punching his then fiancée, now wife, Janie Balmer, and then dragging her limp body out of the elevator were truly horrifying and shocking. Arrested and charged with assault and domestic violence, Rice was quickly cut by the Ravens and suspended by the league. The Ravens issued a statement after the video was made public, calling Rice's actions a serious matter. The criminal charges were later dropped after Rice agreed to undergo court-supervised counseling. However, the NFL never took Ray Rice back. No NFL team signed him after he was cut by the Ravens. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video of Any Sport. If you enjoyed, click on one of these 2 videos right here or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe and have a great day.